Western Oklahoma Sports Night, powered by Lawdog Sports. I am Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog, here with you on a Wednesday evening. Ready to talk sports with you here. And as always, we'll also bring in our special partner guest here. He's not a guest. He's one of the hosts here on Western Oklahoma Sports Night. It's sports director for Wright Media, Luke Clement. Luke, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, Chuck. Glad to be here. How you doing?
Good, doing good. Listening to your sportscast in the morning, listening to the podcast if I don't happen to catch those. And man, you are probably an aficionado on rodeo now.
I've always enjoyed the rodeo world, but especially when there's nothing else to talk about, and there's some good Western Oklahoma representation at those rodeos, so it's fun to talk about them.
Exactly, and a lot of SWASU representation as well. And I heard your interview, some audio from Coach Mike Wisniewski, the SWASU rodeo coach, and just an amazing run they have each summer, and it is some nice filler, so to speak. I mean, it's Western Oklahoma sports, and it has to be covered. It's not your traditional sports that we go from August till May with, but hey, it's out there and they're doing it. And congratulations to all the SWASU rodeoers and also the Western Oklahoma rodeoers. Did we say on a previous episode that Wasey Shala was hurt?
He did. I knew he was hurt, but then I found out this weekend that he broke a femur. So he's gonna be out for a little while.
And he was really making some headway as far as establishing himself as a prime bull rider. So quick recovery for him. And then you've always got Emily Beisel. She's not in the college rodeo, but she's always out there competing and just doing great things. And a lot of great stuff going on with the rodeo sports in Western Oklahoma. Well, I tell you, I went to a basketball summer league today for the Weatherford High School Eagles, and they played OKC Storm. And they lost in it, but man, they were hanging tough for quite a while, and they were getting some great play from some players who are kind of going to be getting that spotlight shined on them, as seniors for the first time. But I tell you, one guy who, the spotlight shone well on him, and he didn't have a problem with it, and that was one of the Sage twins. And we've got Ethan Sage here with us here on Western Oklahoma Sports Night, the recent Belmont commit. He's a Belmont Bruin after being a Pittsburgh Gorilla. Ethan, you've been an Eagle, a Gorilla, and now a Bruin. If you get a lion and a tiger and an oh my in there, you might get the full zoo cavalcade.
Yeah, I've hit a lot of them.
Yeah, well, and you're in Nashville now, where Belmont University is, and we'll talk a little bit here in a little bit about you and your brothers, Tate Brothers, Sage Brothers basketball camp is going to be going on next week in Dubtown. But man, talk about the transition from Pittsburgh, Kansas to Nashville, Tennessee. I'm going to imagine Pittsburgh has just a few less things to do as opposed to Nashville.
Yeah, it's been a change, coming from a town like Weatherford, and then also Pittsburgh is not much bigger to Nashville. But I mean, I've loved every part of it. So I love living out here. I've been here for probably a month, I think. And the basketball side of stuff, the off the court stuff. I mean, just every piece of it, I've loved it so far.
Have you been out to Broadway yet?
I have one time. My family came down move-in day, so we had to go check it out. Yeah, it was cool. A lot of people down there.
I imagine.
Yeah.
So where are your mom and dad going to locate to where they can be halfway between Iowa City and Nashville? Because Kansas City is a little off-centered.
Yeah, I think they might be staying in Kansas City. Still, I still got family in Weatherford. Shelby's still in Weatherford. Ashland's in OKC. So, they're just as important as me and Tate are. So I think they're in the middle of all four children in Kansas City. So.
Well, you had an amazing freshman year at Pittsburgh State. You averaged 10.2 points per game and 7.1 rebounds per game. Shot well from the field. Talk about what it was like to play D2 basketball for the Gorillas and how that kind of tuned up your game.
Yeah. I was super thankful for that year. Got to go and immediately play a lot. Learned a lot under Coach Boshi. That year was great, but I just had a better opportunity to, take a step up. So I'm super thankful for my first year that I had, getting a year under my belt for college experience. But, ready for this new challenge. So,
what were some things off of the floor, away from the basketball, that maybe surprised you about being a college athlete that you weren't ready for?
Yeah. I'd say just how busy you are and how mentally taxing it is. I mean, because you really have to be bought in, so you really got to love the game. I went through an injury as well, so like just being injured, I've really never been injured. High school, I've never missed a game, so and it's tough sitting over there and be like, man, I wish I could play. And I was out for 6 weeks watching people do what I like to do, so that was hard. But you learn a lot, and you grow a lot just as a person off the court as well.
What about your game developed from your senior year at Weatherford into your freshman year at Pittsburgh that you look back and you say, yeah, that was on its way. That was something I was going to do.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just more of my IQ plays. We learned a lot about screening angles and just like little details that, some people don't really think matters, but I think it might be the difference in winning and losing. So, I mean, there's a lot of little details. Obviously, I've been working really hard on my jump shot, my three ball, and just my overall confidence. So, just kind of the IQ it takes from high school to college.
And then go ahead, Luke.
What at the D2 level is singular to the D2 level that you think you can take to the Division I level?
You say it again, sorry.
What is singular or special about the Division II level that you'll be able to use at the Division I level?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I just think everything, playing college basketball in general, it's obviously a step up from Division II to Division I, but just having that year under my belt is super nice. Like I said, learning just college basketball IQ and, learning the strengths of every different player. And I don't know, there's just a lot goes into it. Like you learn so much just by playing, you know what I mean? Just kind of every situation you put yourself in, there's just so many situations and you've just seen it before, you know what I mean? So just like I said, IQ and just how much you learn.
Would you be able to walk us through the whole portal process? I mean, you play your season at Pittsburgh and then I guess you enter the transfer portal. Talk about that and how that goes down in your situation.
Yeah. So, I mean, after the season, obviously, towards the end of the year, I was just focused on winning. But once the season was over, I kind of just prayed about it a lot. I was kind of in between, should I stay or should I go? Talked a lot about it with my family, but I actually had an agent reach out to me, and he let me know. He's like, yeah, man, like you got it, and you can go to the next level. So my agency at Promondo Sports, they've helped me a lot. But when I got in, it was really chaotic. I mean, I had a lot of Division IIs, especially the ones in our conference. About a lot of them reach out to me, and it was like I knew I was set on trying to go Division I. So it's honestly, I was having text a lot of them back and getting calls and texts every day. It's just that whole process over again. So I mean, it's super stressful, but I was super thankful, and I just kind of narrowed it down between my top few choices, and then took visits to Oral Roberts and here, and took a visit to Belmont. And like I said, I just continued to pray over it and take my time thinking about it. And Belmont really just checked all the boxes with Coach Brad's and his staff, and their resume, and I think what they can do with a player like me. I think I can trust them and just continue to show up to work. And I get to live in Nashville while I play basketball. So yeah, they just checked all the boxes.
Is it a little bit of a situation kind of like what your brother had with Drake when that was, the option for him, where it's a mid-major but it's a new coach and he's coming in and he's wanting to establish his system and find his players? Is that kind of how it worked out for you with Belmont?
Yeah, he was actually an assistant. He was an assistant coach at Duke, and Coach Brad's also coached in the NBA for I think 7 years or so. So that's a guy I know I can trust who's been around basketball. He was a great player here at Belmont. So, him coming here, I knew that I could trust him and his system. Like on my visit, they broke down a lot of stuff. So I knew whatever he was going to put in is going to be good. And, high level basketball, like I said, him coming from the NBA and coming from Duke.
The recruiting process in the transfer portal or out of the transfer portal is a much shorter time frame than getting recruited in high school. How do you take all those offers and, slim them down to your final decisions?
Yeah, it's hard because, in high school you get recruited for 2, maybe 3 years. And the portal, it was probably, I don't know, under a month. So yeah. I'm having Zoom calls 3 times a week, phone calls every day. Like it's stressful, but you just gotta know what you're looking for in a program. I mean, there was a lot. I have a lot of people who helped me out throughout my process, like including my agent and then some of my coaches and my dad. Like you just look for certain things and you know which program you want to play for, and a lot of it goes into the coaching staff as well. So you kind of know what you want to play for and what system you want to be in and what things you want.
All right, we're visiting with Ethan Sage, current and recent Belmont Bruin signee, playing in the Missouri Valley Conference on the Division I level after transferring from Pittsburgh State, former Weatherford Eagle 2025 state champion. And this Belmont team, Ethan, how many players are they returning from last year's team, which went 26-6 and 16-4 in conference, just missed an NCAA invite, basically, I guess, because they lost in the first round of their conference tournament. What are they returning, and what will the competition be like for you on that squad?
Yeah, I think they're returning 7 or 8 guys, I'm pretty sure. One starter. They had a couple guys transfer out, one kid went to Duke, Nebraska. I mean, they've had some good transfers. One guy went to Tennessee. So, but they also had returners. They had 2 Missouri Valley freshman team, all first freshman team. I'm pretty sure they're coming back. So, I think we have a pretty good squad, pretty good talent. I mean, we've had people obviously transfer in, so still getting to know everybody. But everybody out here can go. Everybody's super talented.
What are the emotions going to be like if the schedule comes out here in a couple of years and you got Iowa in the non-conference?
Man, that would be a blessing. It would be, I don't know what to feel because I've never played against my brother. I did mention that to Coach when I was on my visit. I was like, man, we gotta try to schedule them, see if they'll schedule us. But yeah, that would be really fun to get to play that game.
Ethan, with the portal, and I'll kind of let the portal die after this, but also, coaches are in the portal too, and coaches are mobile in this day and time of college sports. Do you feel like it could, if it were a situation where Belmont reeled off a great season under Coach Brad's and he entertained offers, is that something that you would, I mean, I know it's way down the road, but a lot of what ifs there, but I mean, it seems like college athletics, your options are just always prevalent and always, there to be taken.
Yeah. I mean, I would kind of be open to everything. I mean, I like I said, I like it out here, but I enjoy playing for Coach Brad's. But yeah, I'd really just be open to anything, loving playing for him. But I mean, with the transfer portal NIL, I mean, I'm not one to go out and chase money. So, I mean, I would just be looking for the best fit for me personally, and like for my life. So wherever that is, if that's with Coach Brad's or if that's here or whatever, just the best fit for me.
And he's so go ahead.
How big of a draw is it having a head coach, formerly an assistant at Duke and with NBA experience?
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's like I don't know. I just feel like I learned so much, and there's a couple of them that these coaches out here that I can just, when they say something, it's like, man, I just gotta trust what they're saying and know, what I mean, they know what they're talking about. So it's just a blessing to be able to be coached by guys at that high level. That's been always the dream, is to go up and play at this level. So these guys know exactly what they're talking about. So yeah, it's good. It's great to be around those guys and just hear from them.
You have a dream to play at the next level?
Absolutely, I do. Yeah.
All right. Well, I know you can. And when your days at Weatherford, I always called you the glue, because, you were the guy who did the dirty work, who took the toughest defensive assignments. And I think when I think about you and your brother and other teammates, and their playing careers, defense is just such a prevalent thing with regards to, playing at any, getting to whatever the next level is for you. How will your defense benefit under Coach Brad's and as you develop as a player?
Yeah. I think I've already gotten better defense since I've been here. I think I was saying this earlier that you're a product of your environment. So, just playing against these guys that are really good every day, it's going to better me to be a better defender. So, yeah, just continue to just control what I can control. Playing against these guys, I think it will continue to get better. You go up a level, everybody's better. So I went up, so I have to go up another level. So, yeah, just being around these guys, I think is gonna help me elevate.
Kind of off of the basketball, Chuck brought up old teammates. About a month or so ago, I saw you and your brother and CJ at the Weatherford Athletic Auction. Getting to come home after a year away playing ball, what do you enjoy about coming home and seeing those old teammates?
Yeah, it's just bittersweet, especially since my family don't really live there anymore. But it's always just so good to come back home and I don't know, just feel like the environment of Weatherford, man. It's such a special place, and just to get to go to the banquet and to see how many people that support us and are watching us through our journey, it's just so special. So yeah, just super thankful to have friends and family like that makes home such a great place.
Did you play in the scramble?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Have y'all got CJ Nixon on the course yet? Has he bought a set of clubs yet or anything?
I don't know if he has his own set of clubs, but we've been out there. I don't know, maybe one time. I'm not sure. We haven't played really around. We've been out to the range though, for sure, trying to work on the game. So
yeah. Well, and we want to mention, and we'll pull up the brochure here as we visit, and also if I can get it pulled up there. So there we go. The Sage Brothers basketball camp coming up June 30th through July 2nd. It'll be 9 a.m. to noon at the Great Plains YMCA out there on Airport Road. Grades 1st through 8th. And you and your brother, I tell you, and CJ Nixon and Nate Rehrman, it was so great to watch when you guys were players at Weatherford, because it wasn't just that parents and your classmates and things really enjoyed watching you guys play and the things you guys accomplished, but man, the kids just lit up. I mean, you guys really were like pros ballers walking around Dubtown with the kids. Yeah. And I know you and your brother and CJ and even Nate and others that you love interacting with kids. What is it that inspired you guys to put on this camp?
Oh man, I just looking back to me when I was younger, I always thought the older kids were so cool, so I would want to be the person that I always wanted, the older kid that was really cool, to be engaged. You just wanted to talk to them, So, I mean, I think it'd be super special. We have all these bunch of kids come out, that love basketball, trying to get better. Hopefully we can inspire them as well. Maybe they can, the future of Weatherford be inspired. I mean, that's exactly how I started when we were little. It's like, man, I want to grow up to be like these older guys. So just inspire them and also just to engage with them.
It's pretty amazing. Real quick, how can people, if they want to get their kid into the camp, are there still openings?
Yeah, so there's actually a link, should be on me and Tate's bio, also Coach Bull's, I think. Wherever they just posted, there should be a link in the bio that you can register. It's real simple, just a Google Doc. Real simple and easy to fill out.
We'll add that to the broadcast, and if folks would go to the YouTube page as well in the description, and Facebook, we'll add that link to the video for this interview here on Western Oklahoma Sports Night, visiting with Ethan Sage, former Weatherford Eagle, former Pittsburgh State Gorilla, and current Belmont Bruin. Go ahead, Luke. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, being in the position you are now, what excites you most about being able to come back home and repay the favor to the community?
Yeah. Like I said, I just being that person I always wish, that could be, if that makes sense. Like being 2 Division I players, and I know a bunch of kids look up to us. So I know exactly how I felt when I was younger. So I'll just be that guy, be that star that, like I said, inspires them and, continue their basketball dreams. So yeah, just to connect with them. And ultimately, I don't know, that means so much to those kids, and it means so much to us that they come out. So yeah, just to engage in them, get to know them, and help them, work on their game. So,
will a lot of your former teammates that stayed in Weatherford be out there helping too, or is it just going to be you and Tate?
I know CJ Nixon's coming. I'm not sure. I think we're going to see how it goes. Probably some of our buddies might be out there, but I'm not sure. We're definitely gonna see how it goes. But I know Coach Bull's going to be out there. CJ's going to be out there. Coach Hayward's going to be there as well. So we're gonna have a good staff to help get it rolling.
Well, Nate Rehrman could go out there and teach the kids how to set hard picks. He's kind of perfected that under Coach Weiberg. So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did you and Tate and Nate ever stop trying to get CJ to play college basketball, or when did that fight stop?
Oh man, I don't know. I had no clue whenever he was trying to decide. It was like, man, you want to go play basketball? You want to go play football? Well, I mean, football was the right decision for him. I think he had great options. I don't think he could have made a bad decision. You know what I mean? I think any basketball or football would have been great for him, but he's had playing football. So, I mean, I'm glad for him. He made the right decision.
I would imagine that NIL down in Norman probably helped make the decision. I don't know CJ's personal business, but I know college football and the stories that I hear. So, yeah, but yeah, it's funny that you bring up that conversation, Luke, because I was at a physical therapist in Edmond last week, and a former player that you guys played against on multiple occasions was talking about how he gave up college football and was going to just focus on basketball. And, he was a guy who I'm sure got a big, NIL deal for the college that he went to. And then, obviously if your love is one sport, you could do it. I'll look at it and say, the teams that we had at Weatherford, I mean, now that you and, 3 to 4 Division I prospects, I promise you, we had on that squad, and it was an amazing run.
Absolutely.
Hey, I was looking at the current construct of the Missouri Valley Conference, and I see where the kind of the rival for the Belmont Bruins is Murray State. Does that worry you a little bit that Ja Morant might show up and pull some shenanigans at a Murray State game?
Oh, I mean, no, I'm not worried about Ja Morant, but I mean, it would be pretty cool if he was there. Get to maybe meet him, talk to him. So,
well, I think also real quick, it sets the tone that it takes one or two good runs at a mid-major to get your name out there. And obviously he's an amazing talent, has a great career, but I'll let Luke, I got a question loaded up, but go ahead, Luke.
What are some notable alumni from Belmont?
I know right now in the league, Ben Shepherd plays for the Pacers. Ian Clark, he got drafted to the Cavs. He was an NBA champion. It's hard to think in the league, right? I know there's a few. I'm not the best at this, but those are the two I for sure know. But yeah, hopefully here soon a couple more, I think.
I was going to ask you, OKC drafted Bennett Sturts, the former Hawkeye point guard. I'm sure you got to meet him on occasion with your brother and talk about what you thought about him going to OKC.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was kind of bummed when I saw that Memphis took him at 16, and I was like, man, I thought it was really cool if they went. And my buddy actually told me, he's like, bro, he called me, he's like, we just traded for Bennett Sturts, so it's awesome that he's getting to come to OKC, especially the relationship him and Tate have. I know he's heard a lot about OKC, especially during the playoffs, so it's really cool. And I think he's a great fit for out there. So Bennett's a great guy, he deserves that.
Did it make a little bit of difference on your recruitment with your brother, making an Elite Eight run, and the broadcasters mentioning that he was a twin and you played at Pittsburgh State? I mean, it was pretty prominent on the broadcast. That's national television and in that month's main sports event. Did you feel like that kind of had an impact on getting you some notoriety and getting, some offers?
Yeah, absolutely it did. I mean, shout out to Tate for playing well, but absolutely that definitely helped me. I mean, I got a good story for you. So when I was at the Sweet 16 game, I'm pretty sure, in Houston, it was I think it was halftime. I went to the bathroom, and this is the time I'm currently in the transfer portal. Went to the bathroom, and the guy came in there, and I ran into some guy, and he's like, "Hey, you look like 24." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "We're twins," and he was like, "Oh, really? You play basketball too?" I was like, "Yeah." I told him where I played at and my stats, and I was like, "Yeah." Or he asked for my stats. I told him I was in the transfer portal, and it was a coach from Texas State, so they were recruiting me for a little bit, but it's just wild. I ran into a coach. He started recruiting me at the bathroom at the March Madness game. So
doesn't he know you're not supposed to talk when somebody's in there doing catch me outside? Well, Well, and I tell you, I may try to make a trip out to catch a day of you all's basketball camp out there, and hopefully get to see some of the kids that I called games for. And it was just always such a privilege to get to call games for you and your brother and CJ and Nate, and then Walker and Jackson Smith and all the Weatherford Eagles, Cash and Cade. I think back and I can remember your first varsity game against Piedmont at the Elk City Festival.
Yeah.
You came off the bench, and Cade Jennings was kind of the leader on that team, but everybody knew that you and CJ and Tate were coming up, and Nate was just a sophomore, and it was so much fun that year to make a semifinal run and then 2 appearances in the finals, and then you guys finally capped it off with a title. And it was just an amazing way for me to begin my play-by-play career. And your family, all of your family's always been so supportive of the job we do at Wright Media.
Yeah, it was such a special run. Super thankful to have you as well.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, Luke, you got anything else for Ethan? He's probably got something to go do in Nashville tonight.
One last question. Would you say after playing a year of college basketball, the way that you watch NBA basketball has changed?
Absolutely has. Yeah. Like I said, going back to like the IQ stuff is like, you just kind of learn so much that only basketball players would know. So like when you watch the game, you're like, hey, that guy needs to cut or whatever. And so it's fun to watch the NBA and especially other colleges as well. So yeah, it kind of changes it a little bit.
Well, let's put that brochure up there one more time, and we'll add the link to the description, and we'll put it on Facebook as well. Get your kid out to Weatherford if you're not in Weatherford, or if you're in Weatherford, get them out to Great Plains YMCA. Grades 1 through 8, boys and girls, June 30th through July 2nd. That's next week, next Tuesday, and it'll go through Thursday and 9 a.m. to noon. And it's going to be a great camp. The Sage Brothers basketball camp, 2 amazing Weatherford Eagles giving back to their community and doing a great job at it. So, man, I tell you, Ethan, I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of all of you guys. Like I said, I never played favorites, but I just always knew when you were in there that there were a lot of things we weren't going to have to really worry about. And I tell you, I go back and listen to some of my broadcasts when you fouled out of that Douglas game in 2024. I was pretty bummed. I was like, man, it's tough. It's tough to lose a player like that and try to go on and win. But it was such a blast to call your career and then follow you. And I'm going to be hopefully catching some ESPN Plus action or something for some Belmont Bruin basketball next season.
Yes, sir. Super thankful.
Yeah, me too. Ethan Sage, Belmont Bruins basketball. They are in Nashville, Tennessee. They're in the Missouri Valley Conference. Their head coach is Evan Brads. He is a Belmont alum, former Duke assistant, former Utah Jazz assistant, and a lot of great basketball to come for the Bruins. And they knew to tab up a Division II prospect for Pittsburgh State in our own Ethan Sage. Ethan, take care of yourself. Tell your mom and dad I said hello, and we appreciate you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Lawdog. Thank you, Luke.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ethan Sage there with us. Man, I tell you, Luke, following their careers, and I need to reach out to CJ and see if we could get him on here because he's probably in that time of his summer where the strength and conditioning coach has him on the regular. And I tell you that when I saw him back in January at a Weatherford Clinton game, I think it was, or maybe one of the Weatherford tournament games, he's got the look of a edge rusher nowadays. And we had some comments. I apologize on that. We're all signed up. Can't wait. So Pamela Lencioni, great for her. Debbie Wright Sage, Mama Sage saying hello, and then also Belinda Beaverstone. Great interview. Well, we appreciate you all commenting, and we're going to be on here a little while longer if you want to leave a comment. But it's just it's pretty amazing to get to see our players. I call them my players because I call their games for their whole high school career, but do great things on a national level, and it's going to be a blast.
I really enjoy covering the Western Oklahoma athletes that are at the college level or in the minor leagues. That's something that I really enjoy getting to do, especially ones that I've called or, cut clips out of our games to put in the radio. Those are always fun to follow.
Yeah, that's what you do as sports director for Wright Media, and you are ingrained. And one thing I want to mention, and this broadcast is going out over the Lawdog Sports Facebook page. We have a Western Oklahoma Sports Night Facebook page as well, and I shared it to that, and I'll try to get the IT department in to set it up to where this broadcast goes to that page directly. But I'm sure there's folks that think we are Weatherford centric, maybe a little bit, but I mean, you show up with a big W hat. So
hey, I mirror my hat to what we're talking about on this show.
That's right. That's right.
Last week or last time we had Coach Weiberg on, I had an OSU hat on beforehand, and I switched it. So.
But, if we can get a hold of Caden Powell, I'd love to try to interview Trent Smith, former Clinton Red Tornado and OU Sooner, and get him on there. And, just be able to really cover and encompass Western Oklahoma. I know that once football season comes up, we'll probably try to reach out to coaches and then also get our play-by-play guys in and involved. We had a great roundtable last year, I think, right before the playoffs began in football, if I remember right. And then also just, so much sports going on in Western Oklahoma, and we love to cover it. But, you've been doing a great job on the sportscast, the daily sportscast of, like you said, keeping an eye on those minor leagues with the likes of Cash Mayfield and Caden Powell and some of the others that are they're playing. And then how about Jackson Willits and the national champion OU Sooners? That's quite a deal there. I heard you had some audio from him today.
I did. Jackson Willits, a former Fort Cobb Broxton Mustang, a OU junior, stud shortstop of the Men's College World Series this year. He's named the MVP. He hit 500 in the final tournament, which is just unbelievable. He brought his A game, and I didn't know until this tournament that he's already married and has a little girl, and I think that's super cool that there were probably 4 generations of Willits there to watch a national championship. It was pretty cool.
Well, and Dad Reggie is just got to be given a lot of flowers for his work with the OU Sooners. Coach Skip Johnson, just an amazing run for the Sooners. And I think it's interesting, Luke, to see the banter about, because college baseball gets about a week and a half's worth of real coverage in this cycle. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I mean, the diehards and the university faithful, they'll cover, they'll follow, college baseball from the beginning, keep an eye on the team and things like that. I know your station there in Weatherford and Clinton, 97.3 The Score. You guys are the home of OU sports there, and OU softball and baseball will be featured on the air there. But it's an amazing run, and what gets me is I think it was Greg McElroy has been called out or been tabbed for going on a podcast and throwing out that he felt like Georgia was actually the best team in the country, and OU just got lucky or just got hot at the right time. And there's a lot of champions that we've seen crowned in our lifetimes that got hot at the right time.
It got hot,
yeah. And so it's part, if you wanted to get down to it, in essence, one of his national championships probably should have been divvied out to someone else in 2011 when OSU had one loss and got locked out of the BCS, and LSU and Alabama played that terrible rematch, and so just you can always, there's always some idiot's going to claim something stupid, and generally they're from Alabama or Texas.
I would agree, but I mean, every coach ever has said that you got to play your best ball in the playoffs, and that's exactly what OU did. So, I mean, how can you fault them and say that they're not the best team? I mean, they went through the course that was in front of them.
And and that's the thing about it. That would be like saying, well, the OKC Thunder have been the number 1 seed overall for 3 straight seasons, so therefore they were technically the best team all 3 seasons. Well, no, you have a playoff that shows that, yeah, if you want to do nothing but rankings, then yeah, maybe you could throw that out there. But, there is a playoff and you win and you play a best 2 out of 3 and you play a double elimination. So if Georgia was going to prove that they were the best team, they would have proved it. So, but congratulations to the Sooners. I guess as we were on the air, they were, I think 6:30, they started their victory celebration down at the ball field. I still call it Eldell Mitchell. I know it's Kim Ray Family Field or something like that, but it'll always be Eldell Mitchell to me. And here's another interesting thing, Luke, and it was funny. 13-2 was the final score against North Carolina in Game 3. That was the same score that OU won their last national championship, 13-2 against the Florida State Seminoles in 2000, which I'm going to bet that you weren't born then.
Wasn't even swimming yet, probably. I wasn't
gleam in your dad's eyes. So
yeah, 100%.
And I was 30 when they won that title, and
this is their first. No, it wouldn't be their first team title since then, but be first boys team title since then.
Out of the 3 major sports in men's athletics at OU, baseball, football, and basketball, this is the first one since 2000. Yeah. They've not won they played for several in football, several playoff appearances, and then the BCS appearances. But this is the first championship that any of the big 3 sports, baseball, football, or basketball, have won. I guess men's gymnastics has won national championships.
And softball's won.
Softball, women's softball's won a lot of national championships, and that's. My knowledge, that's been it for them as far as their 3 sports, because I don't think OU women's soccer has won. I'm pretty sure they haven't won a national championship, but yeah. And then football's 26 years removed from their last national championship. You know how long they had been removed from a national title when they won in 2000?
Didn't they win it back to back? Did they win in 99 or sometime? So 84, 86.
85. They beat
85.
85. They beat Penn State in the Orange Bowl. It was, and it's the 85 season. The bowl games are always, the next year. It's like the 86 Orange Bowl, but it was the 85 season. So it was 15 years removed from the last time they had won a title when they won their last one. So 26 years is an awful long stretch, and probably the longest stretch they've gone since they won their first back in the 50s, because 73, 74, 85, and then 2000. So, that's less than 26 years, I think, between 4 of them. So, but, a lot of different systems, and they have played for them. So, you never know that some of their teams under the old AP voter system and UPI, the coaches poll and things, they might have been the 2003 national title champion without a playoff, but the BCS changed things. All right, so like I said, I went out to the Hive in Edmond today to watch some Summer League Weatherford basketball out there, and Cooper Bryant was not with the squad last time I went to watch him. He was on a mission trip when I went to watch them at Edmond Memorial. But I'm telling you, Luke, Cooper Bryant, and we'll see how it parlays out to the football field as well. But Cooper Bryant is an athlete. I mean, I saw him. It looks like his verticals improved and gotten higher. It looks like he's thicker and more muscular. I mean, I think he's a kid that's geared up to have a big senior year in a lot of different sports.
Seems like there's always 1 or 2 in Weatherford who step up and kind of put that title of team leader, go-to guy on themselves. And I don't see why Carter Bryant couldn't be that person this year.
Yeah, Cooper Bryant is
Cooper Bryant, not Carter Bryant.
Kobe Flynn will be a senior as well. And Coach Sossman's got, I know this last week, the linemen were up at Bixby for an offensive and defensive lineman camp. Henry Davis is another name to look out for. I mean, he is a huge kid. I think 6'5", 240. The Willard twins, they're massive, and they're on top of everything else, Luke, they're wrestlers. And I always like my linemen to be wrestlers.
I think it helps a lot knowing how to use your body weight and knowing how to use your opponent's body weight against them. It helps a lot.
And in any sport, I think a quick first step is always crucial. And I think wrestling probably helps you get those reflexes going and fire off, pretty well. Did I hear you with some audio from Bob Ward in the last week?
Yes, when would that have been? That would have been last Thursday. Clinton hosted a 7-on-7, and Thomas was there and got to interview Coach Powers and Coach Ward.
Yeah,
in the rain.
So Coach Trevor Powers, his first season at Clinton, replacing Coach John Higbee. And what'd you feel about seeing? Because I know Coach Higbee, he always looked at 7-on-7 as just kind of I don't know if he looked at it as a waste, because you are getting your receivers out there and getting them running routes, but you're talking about a 70-30 predominantly run team under Coach Higbee. It's probably going to change significantly under Coach Powers, but what was your feel watching the Clinton Red Tornadoes probably going through a little more intensive 7-on-7 than they have in the past?
You could definitely tell that at 7-on-7, it's obviously a primary throwing day, but you could tell that that's just something that wasn't I don't want to say a priority, but something that they did all the time. Yes, it's a priority, but they weren't practicing it as much as they were practicing handoff and inside zone and stuff like that. No. The one big glaring standout for me for the Clinton team was their defense. 7-on-7s are no pads, no contact, and the Clinton defense was doing everything. They were being physical as they could be for 7-on-7. So that's definitely something that I'm looking for this upcoming season.
Yeah, because your secondary and your linebacker core is there and working, on coverage routes and things like that. And if you can't cover the pass, and I know predominantly these teams that we cover are going to run the ball. Every coach wants to be able to run the ball, but you also want to know that your secondary can get out there and cover. If you've got a comment, just give us a comment there. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter X at Lawdog Sports, and this is Western Oklahoma Sports Night. We had a great visit with Ethan Sage. We'll be on here a couple of more minutes here going over some stuff just to wrap up, because honestly, Luke, it's unless we are able to pull in, I've got feelers out to some Western Oklahoma sports standouts. We'll see how that works out, but we're kind of in that hover stage where we're just kind of waiting on things to get going with the sports we cover. I went and watched Weatherford Summer League softball out at Piedmont yesterday, and I tell you, senior Josh Stone, which I'd be remiss to not mention that we really appreciate her dad, Damon Schultz, at A+ Roofing and Construction, and there's the scroll and their number there, and he's also covering Western Oklahoma and the OKC Metro. He did my gutters a couple of weeks ago, had my gutters done with A+ Roofing and Construction, and we're extremely happy with that. Damon Schultz, a very, very trustworthy businessman in Western Oklahoma and also serving the Metro. But Luke, Josh Stone looks like she's going to have a big bat this season. They've got some returners, even though they lost, Caitlin Bryant and Peyton Mills as one of the seniors. Camry Bryant, the twin sister of Caitlin, was injured last season, but they only lost 2 seniors. So, the softball will be here before we know it. And I know that Clinton is probably looking at their softball program taking a step up as well. So we could end up with some big time softball matchups. Elk City, I'm sure, has a lot of talent on their softball squad as well. So fast pitch will be a lot of fun, and that'll be getting going in August.
Yeah, fast pitch will be here just with football. It gets here quick. I would be in trouble if I didn't give a shout out to my coworkers, kid Addie Blackwell on the Weatherford softball team. She'll be a big part of their offense this season. And then in Clinton, they actually have a new softball coach. Janie Worthington is her name. She has college experience at North Texas and Southern Nazarene, and she's stepping into their head coaching position. So excited for what they're going to do this fall.
Yeah, Addie Blackwell was behind the plate playing catcher when I got there, and I thought, well, she was shortstop last year, left fielder as a freshman, so there's really not much she can't do on a softball field, obviously. But I did visit with Coach Morris, and he mentioned her and several other they're going to be. That's what's wild is they're going to be juniors this year, kids that were sophomores, freshmen. Seemed like just the other day they're going to be juniors this year, so. And then, just it'll be a lot of fun. And I know Western Oklahoma is going to have some great softball matchups. And then also we mentioned Coach Ward. He's replacing a quarterback, Ty Littlebird, 4-year starter for the Terriers, a great talent. Really just the will to win came from Ty. But I thought they feel pretty good with, I believe, Kason Freimeyer will be the heir apparent there in Terrier Green. Yes,
Kason Freimeyer was getting the majority of the reps last Thursday at 7-on-7, and the kid had an arm. He was throwing it around the field, and they had several guys that were able to go get underneath it. So I don't expect the Thomas offense to slack off much from the production they had last year.
Coach Ward always going to have a squad ready to play, and then Coach Matt Hart with the defense, and then Sayre. We'll see how Coach Kel Hickson has his team ready to play. I thought they had a really nice season last year, just really competitive, and in that Class A Division I, man, those districts are still tough, Luke.
Tell me about it. I'm still in one with Watonga, and Sayre, you're right. Sayre really turned things around last year. They had a winning record. They were just a game and a half out of the playoffs. So really excited about what Coach Hickson's got going down there in Sayre.
For sure. And then what's Cordell? What are they going to be doing? Because I looked in the districts on OSSAA, and I must have just missed them somewhere. What are they going to play 8-man this season?
They will be independent 8-man.
Independent 8-man.
They were a part of that group of schools who requested independence a couple months back that got that big stir going about the OSSAA. Yeah. They were one of the few schools that were granted independence.
And you couldn't overlook Cordell. I mean, they deserve a break here and there. I mean, but hey, they could have a turnaround. You never know. And so it'll be a lot of great football that you'll be busy covering, and then also you'll be on with Hydro Eakley softball and baseball in the fall. So a lot of great sports going on. Where do people need to go to follow you and everything that you cover in Western Oklahoma?
95.5 The Coyote on Facebook, and then 750 every morning, 5:30 in the evenings. 97.3 The Score, Facebook and Twitter. 99.3 The KCLI. You can hear on 740 and 5 o'clock, and then Western Oklahoma Sports on the podcast on Apple Sports and Spotify.
Yeah, right here too. Western Oklahoma Sports Night. We're a bit of an offshoot of Western Oklahoma Sports, and since Luke is still with Wright Media, we want to give them their due, so we appreciate them. But like I said, I am ready. I'm kind of summertime. I get a little antsy, Luke. I'm not gonna lie. I just kind of feel like I should be doing some sort of game prep, and then you go to a summer league game or maybe a 7-on-7. You're like, okay, here we go. So it'll be here before we know it, and we'll be right in the middle of it. So it'll be a lot of fun. But it's a lot of fun doing this show with you, my friend. And what a great chance for us to visit with another D1 player off of the Weatherford Eagles basketball team, Ethan Sage and Belmont. I had a feeling, when I figured here's how I was thinking, because I knew he would get looks. I knew he had the talent. He chose Pittsburgh State because that's where he wanted to be. But I knew he would get opportunities. And I'll tell you this, Luke, so much talk was about, Coach McCollum, get a 2-for-1 in essence, you
right.
Bring him to Iowa City. But I think Ethan has always been determined. He wants to kind of do his own thing. And I get that. And, and who knows, we could be next March watching Belmont, with Ethan Sage making some sort of run in their conference and maybe into the tournament. They seem to have a lot of positivity going in their direction, but I honestly, would have thought that maybe a TU or an ORU might have been in his wheelhouse. But, I haven't been to Nashville in a long time, but I hear it's pretty cool now.
I feel like Nashville might be one of the top places that you could go be a college athlete in. You would have a lot of off-campus opportunities to go and have fun and spend your time. I imagine he's going to have a good time down there.
Well, definitely, and they're such good kids and a great family and a good Christian family. So we always appreciate the Sages here at Western Oklahoma Sports Night and Lawdog Sports. So, anyways, let's start making our way out of here, Luke, and you'll be on the air tomorrow morning, 7:40, as you mentioned, KCLI News Talk 99.3, and then also 7:50 with Val Gal and John Matthews on 95.5 Coyote. Then we will be sharing your podcast links as well. And don't forget, and I'll put the banner back up there one more time. Sage Brothers basketball camp coming up next week, June 30th through July 2nd, 9 a.m. to noon at Great Plains YMCA. It's for boys and girls, grades 1 through 8, and it'll be a great camp as well. And we look forward to hearing some great reports from that. So we'll also add the link for that also. So anyways, Luke, time to get out of here. Thanks so much. Appreciate everything you do for Western Oklahoma sports, my friend.
Yes, sir. I enjoy doing it.
All right. He's Luke Clement, Sports Director at Wright Media. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Lawdog. We want to thank Ethan Sage for visiting with us here on the broadcast, and then also those that watched and commented. We appreciate you very much. Be safe out there. Don't text and drive, and sure don't drink and drive. We'll talk to you real soon. Be sure and give us a follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Lawdog Sports. You can also find the Western Oklahoma Sports Night podcast there on Lawdog Sports on YouTube. Talk to you guys real soon.